Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program, Capital Beat. Smriti Irani is all set to return to the television with the reboot of the iconic television show Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. If you remember, 25 years ago, Smriti Irani was seen as the main protagonist of that show. She earned accolades, and people ran after those shows and those episodes in which Smriti Irani appeared with Mihir, who was Amar Upadhyay at that time. Now, fans now are eagerly waiting to see Smriti Irani return to the television screens with a much-awaited reboot of the iconic television show Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. And recently, what we've seen is that the first look of Smriti Irani was leaked, and in that first look, Smriti Irani was seen wearing a maroon sari adorned with a rich zari border. She completed her look with a signature big red bindi, traditional temple jewelry, and a black beaded Mangal Sutra. Now, the reboot season of the show will mark Smriti Irani's return to acting uh, after more than 15 years almost. But the big question is that if she's returning to the soap opera world of Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, what happens to her politics? Has she abandoned politics? Has BJP used her as used and thrown her? Will she get the same success now as she returns back to the Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu serial? All these are questions. And how does one judge Smriti Irani as a failed politician or someone who realized her mistakes and she's gone back to the same place from where she emerged as a great star? We'll tackle all these questions today. Joining me this evening is Vivek Deshpande, veteran journalist and political commentator. Thank you so much for joining. We have Sunita Aron, author, consulting editor to HT Lucknow, and political commentator. Thank you so much, Sunita ji, for joining. And I'll begin with Sunita ji because we're talking about Smriti Irani, and let's put the things in perspective from the point of view of a lady as well. And I'm not getting into the fact that Smriti Irani, not getting into the bit of criticizing her, but what she stands for today. And uh, I want to get a very dispassionate view of how Smriti Irani will be judged. So, starting with you, Sunita ji, do you see that she's
Okay.
failed as a politician and that is why she had to go back to the world of soap opera?
No, I don't think so. That just because she lost the 2024 election, that doesn't matter.
Just
She
allow me to
has been.
interrupt you. Just allow me to interrupt you. Vivek, I think there's some sound coming from your end. If you can just mute yourself and just unmute when you have to speak. Yes, Sunita ji, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I don't think so. There are so many actors who have contested elections, like Arut Govil and Hema Malini is there. So her going back to the acting field doesn't mean that stops all opportunities for her in the political world. In any way, BJP has a style of functioning, and once she lost the election, naturally, for some time she had to lie low. Now, having said so, I would like to. I was reading her. I was reading one article and I read one quote of hers. There's so many around her decision where she says that I stand at the crossroads where experience meet emotions. Now, this particular quote can be interpreted in different ways. That she's standing at the crossroads. Is it politics, or is it between politics and acting career, or is it because she's returning to the theater? Look, she has been a very powerful politician, but not a very popular one, because she was not very, friendly with people. She had her own style of interacting with them, especially with media, I can say. But in if you talk about her serial, then she was both powerful and popular. And her return to, I think, theater, to her acting, this is going to, everybody is going to be excited, because I remember as editor, when I used to sit in my room, I used to see all the boys and girls, you know they used to stand in the bureau chief's room cabin where we had television, at a particular hour when this serial used to come. And then I used to go there. What are they watching? I thought it's only cricket and hockey, but it was Kyunki Saas Kabhi Bahu Thi, and I was surprised that even men were so much interested in this particular, serial. So I don't look at it. It may be that she has gone back to, because she was not very active in politics right now. But I don't see that closing the doors for her in the political arena.
Okay, so let me get in Vivek now. That Vivek, what do you think is the reason why she has abandoned BJP, realizing that BJP used her as a tissue paper, used and threw her, or she became I mean, she felt defeated now because there are other options as well. So, what was the reason why it was she who abandoned BJP, or it is BJP who abandoned Smriti Irani? Because there were too many options. How would you look at things? What went wrong actually between BJP and Smriti Irani, or if I may say, between the central leadership of BJP and Smriti Irani?
Yeah, Nilu, very difficult to say whether it was the BJP which abandoned her or she decided to part ways with the BJP. Very difficult because those contours are not very clear. What actually prompted Smriti Irani to return to her original role as an actress in soap operas? But then it definitely has to do something with her loss in the Lok Sabha election, because after that she has been fading into insignificance in the BJP. She used to be a very, very prominent BJP voice in parliament and outside the parliament as well. And she was very popular in the BJP circles, particularly among the women. I don't know whether one defeat can prompt the BJP leadership to kind of put her behind, whether they did it or she thought that she was frustrated that she couldn't make it in these elections, and then maybe it was about time for her to go back to what she was known to be doing better than what she actually did as a politician, the role of an actor. That decision, what went into her mind, that only she will be able to tell. Maybe not now, maybe sometime in future, but definitely she was a very we have seen in BJP leaders like Sushma Swaraj, and there is a definite difference between the styles of Sushma Swaraj and Smriti Irani. Sushma Swaraj was a very aggressive leader as well, but there is a difference between being aggressive and being very loud and shrill. We have seen the BJP leadership, entire BJP leadership between the Vajpayee era and Modi era go from. I mean, there is a generational shift, or should we say, there was a generational degeneration of leadership between Vajpayee era and Modi era. There's a definite culture associated with the two BJP regimes, the Vajpayee regime and the Modi regime, which is very, very, the Modi regime is a very, very violent, a very loud and shrill regime, and it starts right from the top. She did play her role very well in parliament if we go by the standards which the BJP, current BJP leadership has set for its leaders. I mean, if at all we can call them standards, they are actually far from it. But then she did fit very well into that role, and she carried that job out very well in parliament from the BJP's perspective. Of course, she was very bad when it comes to parliamentary etiquettes and manners, but from the BJP's perspective, the manner in which the BJP wants its leaders to perform, she did very well. We have the likes of Nishikant Dubey is doing it even now. For BJP, she did a very good job, and yet when she lost the election, slowly she faded into insignificance, or she was kind of left behind by the BJP leadership. I don't know why, what went into that. She still had a role to play. She still had a lot of substance, the BJP substance, the RSS substance in her to carry it forward. But why they decided not to give her any responsibility, that's not very clear. But maybe what I can say in nutshell, Nilo, is that her return to the soap opera in the role of a Bahu. The serial's name earlier was Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. Can we now say that Saas has again become a Bahu?
Okay, so you are saying the Saas has become the Bahu. Tahira Hassan also joins us. She's a women's activist and a human rights activist, joins us. Tahira ji, thank you so much for joining. And we were together on a platform yesterday as well. And Tahira ji, what you really feel about Smriti Irani uh, making an exit from the politics and entering now into the soap opera world? Uh, do you see her as a failed politician? How will the people judge Smriti Irani? And of course, will she get success now after returning back to the same fold from where she came into politics?
Yes, Smriti Irani is returning back to a small screen as a Tulsi Virani. That was a very popular serial, and she was a very popular actress also. And I think still people are waiting for her to come back and perform. So it is her fans are there still. They're waiting for her. But when you are asking about me, Smriti Irani as a politician, first as a women rights activist, I will say she betrayed cause of women. You know, she was defeated in 2014, but she was lucky enough to be selected as a minister. But she did not deliver. She was HRD minister. What happened? We have seen the Rohit Vemula case. And after that, you see that she was so silent. She did not utter a single word when our wrestlers was facing atrocities. Why was she silent? As a woman, she has to raise her voice, but she was silent. So she betrayed women, and I think she failed as a women politician. She never raised the voice for the rights of the women. She opposed paid period leave. She could not understand the pain of the women who suffer during the menses when they travel and join the job. Especially, I'm talking about marginalized women like our domestic helper. They commute by the buses. They get up early in the morning and take the buses. They work in the factories. They don't even get the time to change their sanitary pads. But she says no. There will be discrimination if I will say they need a paid leave. And this is how she feels. She has no pain, no understanding of the women issues. I'm saying when she has no understanding for the women issue, then too she was the women and child welfare minister. So what she did, she failed as a women and child welfare minister. So I say yes, she is a failed politician. She could not deliver. Most of the time in the parliament, you tell me what she delivered about her lectures, you see. Most of the time she was targeting to Rahul Gandhi, fool Priyanka Gandhi, her husband Zameen Chor, and Sonia Gandhi. She said so many remarks against the Sonia Gandhi are also there. So I think that she was just doing the serial. She thinks that Parliament is also like some serial that where the script is written by somebody and you have to
You,
perform it.
yes, so you are saying that she treated Parliament
Yes,
as some sort of a
grassroots.
theater.
Actually, she never worked on grassroots. She doesn't know anything about the grassroots. She doesn't know the women suffering on the grassroots level. So she can't do it. In India, 80% women are from the grassroots. So you
Right.
can't be a good politician.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, surely, I mean, the points which you have raised are valid. That she looks like a failed politician. She failed to raise issues which were important for women. She was full of theatrics inside the parliament. But when you talk about theatrics, Sunita ji, I'll come to you. Theatrics cannot just be stuck to Smriti Irani. We have other persons who play out in theatrics. Look at Nishikant Dubey. Why only target a lady? And here I want to be sympathetic. Not that I completely dismiss what Tahira ji is saying, but as a lady journalist, I really want to see or know from you that whether we are being a little uncharitable to Smriti Irani. Not that I have a very big soft corner for her, but as a woman journalist, as a woman, how should we be judging Smriti Irani? Should we say that she failed, or would we say that she's trying to reinvent herself because she's seen that a party has not valued her efforts And so she's going back to the same world from where she came. So maybe it's a kind of a reinvention. She wants to
Uh,
improvise herself. Would that also be a way of looking at things? Yes, Sunita ji.
Okay, Nilu, let me put few things in perspective. One, she was also a giant killer like Arvind Kejriwal. She defeated Rahul Gandhi. The family had control over the seat since 1980, barring one or two elections which they had lost, and she had defeated Rahul Gandhi. Now, between 2019 and 2024, she could have nursed her constituency very well and, be with the voters at the time when they wanted. But as I told you, because of her arrogance, because of some of her staff members, she couldn't reach out to the people, to her voters. Now, now she has not abandoned politics, and I don't think so. Even BJP has completely abandoned her. It's just that she suffered a very humiliating defeat. Rahul Gandhi did not defeat her, but somebody who was in his office, his manager or family member, whatever you want to describe Kishori Lalji as, he defeated. So for some time, this is what BJP does, that they do not reward losers. One. Second, acting, she has her acting skills. So she's going back to the small screen. It's a very welcome thing. I think there is nothing like you, if you are in politics, you can't do this, if you are there. Now, coming about as a women journalist, how I feel about her, I agree with Aira ji there. She was very impressive in parliament. She was very articulate. She had very good command over the languages. But when it came to women issues, whether Manipur or any other issue, she did not raise them. She was only doing politics even in parliament, or maybe the task that was given to her by the BJP High Command. So to sympathize with her as a woman, I think I'll have to think twice, but definitely I appreciated her acting skills. I appreciated her oratory, even if I thought she could have delivered. She was a very powerful woman. She had a powerful voice, and she could have used it to raise certain issues. It's not necessary that you only talk about the incidents that have happened, but you can also raise certain issues which relate to women. In general, you can relate to, but she did not do that. So I think there's nothing like as a women journalist, I really don't know how to comment on a politician who's a woman but who never spoke about women issues.
Right.
But
No,
her
I agree.
acting
I
skills,
agree.
she was good.
Right. I will not discount at all what you said and also what Tyra ji said. She also made a lot of points. But Tyra ji, coming back to you, and then I'll come to Vivek, that do you think that now she will be successful as she returns back to this world of TV serials?
No, I'm sure she will be successful because her serial is very popular. Kyunki Saas bhi kabhi bahu thi. And still I see that her fans wants to see her on a small screen. So I think she may be successful. I wish her to be successful. But again, I will say that if there is a woman leader, doesn't mean that we glorify her, because it is symbolic. If she is not raising, not picking up issues of the women, and not fighting for the redressal of the problems. So it is not like that. It will be considered symbolic, only symbolic.
Right. Okay. Perfect. It's point well taken from both of you, Sunita ji and Taira ji. But Vivek Deshpande, does it now mean that we write the political obituary of Smriti Irani? Is it time now to write the political obituary of Smriti Irani and say that, look, now she's out of politics, she cannot come back, she's gone back to the world where she came from? How would you see that?
Yeah, Nilu, I think her decision to return to television must have been born out of the fact that possibly she has been told, or she has told herself, that there is nothing much left for her to do in politics. So we are not sure, but you can never predict what will happen in future. Maybe she will have second thoughts about her television return, and maybe she would return to politics again.
Because
So you never know.
what we do know for a fact is that she was trying for a Rajya Sabha seat. Even that did not cut through. and which
Yeah.
is I mean, which is why she's made this decision now, because she did try her level best to get a Rajya Sabha berth for herself.
Yeah, so she was quite frustrated in BJP. That's very much a fact that all of us know. So whether that frustration will stay on and she will continue to be an actress for the rest of her life and would never return to politics again, that we are not sure about. What will happen in the future, we can't say anything as of now. But looking at the manner in which she has been treated in the BJP, I am not surprised, because BJP follows the the ideology of RSS, which is fundamentally patriarchal, and uh, women always are supposed to play second fiddle. If you remember what Mohan Bhagwat had said a few years ago about the role of woman in a family, that she has to bear children and she has to run the house, and she will be taken her needs will be taken care of in terms of finances by the husband, and she has to give her husband whatever the husband needs. So that is the kind of narrative that Mr. Mohan Bhagwat himself had spoken about when it comes to role of a woman in family. So the RSS is an essentially patriarchal family. RSS has a women's wing, but can any one of us recollect who is the head of the RSS women's wing as of now? So they never come to the fore. They are never allowed to come to the fore, we can say. So that's the reason I feel most of the women leaders in the BJP would have played second fiddle to the male leadership and would continue to play second fiddle. And that is exactly what has happened to Smriti Irani, despite her brilliance as an orator. She was a brilliant
Right.
orator. She had great command of language, and she could speak on a subject very well. Forget about whether we agree with the views she spelled out in those speeches or not. But the fact that she could put her views in a very cogent manner, in a very powerful, with powerful oratory, everybody will agree to that. So her returning to television as a Bahu is, in a sense, I mean, that symbolism cannot be overstated. She was playing the role of a Bahu in the BJP, and she has returned to the same role in the soap opera, Nilu.
Right. But how a party treats a woman. I'm not having a soft corner for Smriti Irani for reasons which were stated out by Tahira ji and Sunita ji, that she didn't stand for the women issues. She didn't raise the voice where she had to as a politician. Of course, that cannot be pardoned in any way. And we've done many shows where she kept quiet, she was arrogant. Because of her, the journalists lost jobs in Amethi. We can't ever forget that. But even as she departs, or even as she quits politics, I today want to have a soft heart for Smriti Irani, uh, not to judge her so uncharitably. And Sunita ji, I'm going to come to you. But is this a big takeaway of how the political parties treat women, irrespective of whether it is BJP or whether it is Congress or whether it is Samajwadi Party? How do political parties treat women? Like, if their utility is over, are they treated as tissue papers? That okay, now your utility is over and now you can just look for options which suit you? Yes, Sunita
You're
ji.
asking
Well,
who?
I'll go to
somebody.
Sunita ji and then, yeah.
Acha, okay. Now, one thing which you were talking about, whether she has quit politics or whatever, maybe she feels that there is no role for her in a party which is also on the decline. BJP is on the decline, and as it is on the decline, so maybe she must have thought, okay, as of now, there may not be any role for her, but her vote bank will certainly increase after her acting skills, because the thin line that used to divide politics with cinema is doesn't exist anymore. Nobody
That's an
rejects.
interesting point you made. You're saying that if she goes back to the TV world or the soap opera world, her votes might enhance, and then
Yeah,
again she might
because
come back to politics.
she can always come back. Coming to the point of women being ill-treated, I agree with you. They're not ill-treated, but they are not given the due representation. And I can't say that for the Congress completely, because the party has been led by a Congress president. But it is unfortunate they have made Congress chief ministers also. For Mayawati in her party, the only women in that party to hold positions. There were hardly any. They were encouraged more. But BJP and RSS, we all know about it, that they have never been comfortable with the entry of women, or they have never encouraged, promoted women. But now when they're talking about and they're depending on women vote bank you today, when they want support of 50% because they know that they are the ones who are going to, they are the ones who stand unitedly as the election results have shown. I think it's high time they start doing it. Certainly, but Sushma Swaraj created a space for herself. There have been women leaders who have created space for themselves. It's not that you can't say none, but yes, few.
So you are saying, so Tahiraji, would you say that this was Smriti Irani's incompetence, that she had a good about more than a decade with her in active politics? She was very active in parliament, despite having a good oratory skill, despite being so articulate, she could not sustain herself into politics. And I'm not getting into the reasons why she lost favor with the BJP. Obviously, she lost an important election like Amethi, she couldn't deliver. Then there were visuals of her going back to Amethi, but then she figured out that there was no scope for her. And as Sunita ji pointed out, that BJP is on the decline, as she points out, that she must have realized that there is no scope left for the within BJP. So is that a reason to come to the conclusion that apparently she did not use that opportunity well? She couldn't reinvent herself. She couldn't improvise herself well. Tahiraji? And then I'll come for the
No, I
concluding
don't
comments too.
think so. I don't think so. Sarita ji, that BJP is declined.
I'm going by the
Slightly,
results.
slightly,
I'm going by the
slightly,
results.
uh,
Going by the
slightly,
results.
slightly.
Wait.
As a journalist, you can, I mean, analyze the things better, but I think not declining, because opposition is not in position to take head on right now. But thing is this: when we talk of women, many women are there who have made their space in politics. Indira Gandhi was there. Mamta Banerjee is there. She is very dynamic, strong lady, and Mayawati ji is there.
Lita.
So many there. So I think it is not like that. But Smriti Irani, I said, you saying that in Parliament, she whatever she spoke, her statements were not pro a common man. I mean, she was not speaking for the rights of the common man. She was not speaking for the raising voice for the women, for the laborers. I mean, it is not like that she was raising voice of the women, artisan women who are suffering. She was textile industry also, you know, the biggest industry. So, I mean, you can see that she could not deliver. This is a thing. And the BJP also, I think, realized, and she must have realized that she will be doing much better there as a Saas bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. And there she will get more fans, she will catch, and she will do better. And I agree here with the Sunita ji ki she might come after she gets the popularity and people will go mad for her, then she might come back again in the
Right.
politics. There I agree with her.
Okay. So Vivek, concluding comments to you. At 2029, are we going to see Smriti Irani again contesting from Amethi or from some other constituency?
Nilu,
Maybe.
let me just clarify to Tahira ji that I'm simply going by 2014, 19, and 24 election results. If you look at the results, they are on the
Yeah.
decline.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Yes,
agree. I
Vivek.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nilu, I agree with both the panelists. It's quite possible that she might get a great TRP in the meanwhile, and then when she becomes popular again as an actress, she might stage a comeback. Whether the BJP will accept her again and give her some responsibility, that is for the BJP to decide. But then whether this she is going to use this as a stepping stone to come back into politics with renewed vigor, that we will have to wait and see. Neil.
No, but I'm tempted to ask this last question to you, Vivek, that once she plays this real life on the screen in the capacity of the Bahu, uh, what about the trollers? Are they going to judge her very generously? Will they not compare her stint in politics and with what idealistic character she will be playing as a Bahu in the Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu serial? Because those are two
I
different
don't
things. One is the real and one is the real.
Yeah, I don't know whether people really have that kind of maturity to distinguish between the two roles. People simply, and people have elected someone like Kangana Ranaut, who has been a very dumb politician even before she stood for election. So just because they liked her as an actress, they elected her. So Smriti Irani is a much better person as
Yes, I
far as
agree.
It's better
so
than a
so
Kangana Ranaut, you're saying at least.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you.
So I think she still has a lot of substance as a woman in her. As a woman means not as a representative of woman, but as a woman who is ambitious and who can still get there. So as long as she has it in her, she might stage a comeback, and she is quite eligible to stage a comeback. It all depends on how the things turn out in the BJP itself by 2029, because by that time maybe we won't have Narendra Modi at the helm. In the change situation, maybe somebody else who is in the saddle might prefer Smriti Irani again as someone to bolster the BJP's prospects further. So it
And
all depends on how. Yeah,
yeah, and who knows, by 2029, the winds change and she
yeah.
joins Congress. Who knows that? Because politics is too unpredictable. But yes, as we are discussing Smriti Irani and her return to the TV serials, uh, we all can judge her how she was as a politician, because it was there for everyone to see that she was arrogant. She didn't raise the issues which she should have. She was full of theatrics in parliament, which was decried by so many people. And where she should have spoken, she kept silent on many issues. One cannot dismiss all of that. But even then, should you write off a woman completely and just say that yes, she was not fit, and so she has gone back to that world from where she came? Just think about this. And it's not that I have a very big soft corner for Smriti Irani. I have dismissed her on many programs for why she kept silent on so many issues. But yes, today I want to be a little charitable towards Smriti Irani as a woman journalist. That let's not write off anybody completely. And I condone the views coming from Sunita ji and Tyra. Who knows that, and also Vivek, that who knows, she might come back, and it's her game plan. It's a strategy to go back to the soap opera world and come back with a renewed vigor for politics. So we'll have to wait and watch how this journey unfolds for Smriti Irani. But yes, I wouldn't like to say as a woman journalist, and this is my individual opinion, that I wouldn't like to write her off completely, because it pains me to say that, okay, you write off a woman and her career completely. But I'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Sunita ji, Tyra, Vivek. Thank you so much